And I think before this episode, you should give one disclaimer that these are just my opinions.
Admission in Department of Endo and Conservative Dentistry, then what topic or what areas they should explore more during the PG life?
That down the road now, the virtual reality or the augmented reality should come into play.
Hello and welcome everyone. So today we have a guest who is a very special person, who is a very big name in the field of endodontics, associate lecturer in the Karnavati School of Dentistry, guest faculty on Sharjah University, and co-author and editor of the first guided endodontics book that is published by Springer. Also, he has been the speaker to the many national and international conferences. Dr. Neeraj Pinariwala, sir. Welcome, Dr. Neeraj Pinariwala, sir. Welcome to
Thank,
Unidoncia.
thank you, Rohan, for that elaborated introduction.
It's our pleasure to have you here. So today's our session will be more on the side of students who are just gave the NEET exam and opting to take admission in the Department of Endodontics. So what are they going to learn during the PG life if they are taking admission in MDS Endo?
Okay. Uh, as far as Department of Endodontics is concerned, the full name is Department of Conservative Dentistry, Endodontics, and Aesthetic Dentistry. So it is just not limited to root canal treatments or your regular silver fillings, which you might have done during your UG life.
Yes.
What you can expect in endodontics is starting from basic endodontic diagnosis to filling, which are your teeth colored filling, uh, complex restorations, then you go for root canal treatments for anterior and posterior, and which can be also surgical and non-surgical. So surgical endodontics is again one of the less highlighted part of the
Yes.
curriculum. Apart from that, post and core and aesthetic dentistry, you may have heard of
Yes.
veneers and onlays, uh, good smile designing cases where you are transforming smiles, which fall into interdisciplinary cases. But certainly, endodontists are usually at the forefront of such treatments.
Yes. Mostly the endodontists are on the direct restoration rather than the indirect one. Is to the cross department, like direct
Yes,
composite
so
restoration.
this is one of the illusions which I can say that indirect restorations are always done in Department of Prosthodontics. Uh, Being conservative dentist or aesthetic dentist in even endo department, we do veneers and indirect restorations. Uh, and trust me, even when whether it is Department of Prosto or endo, whenever they are doing good work using magnification, the delivery of the work is at par with any other branch. So whether you are in Prosto or endo, certainly smile designing, and there are few areas in dentistry which are always overlapping, right? You can't say that implants are only done by Department of Prosthodontics. Perio also does that, oral surgeons do that. So in the same way, when it comes to indirect restorations, endodontist and prosthodontist both play a very important role for that.
Sure. And if student is taking admission in Department of Endo and Conservative Dentistry, then what topic or what area they should explore more during the PG life? As per the recent advancement are coming day by day, so to get a more clinical background for the future.
So I feel as a postgraduate student, one should always strive to learn basics and at the same time keep on reading the latest journals and articles, the latest trend in the subject which you are pursuing for a post graduation. I'll talk about endodontics. If you are pursuing endodontics or you want to pursue endodontics, what you should look for is doing more cases which can help you in your routine practice, like more of the cosmetic or the aesthetic dentistry work, not only limited to the direct composite work, but also indirect restorations like veneers or three-foot crowns. But what I usually prefer is going more for surgical part, that is surgical endodontics. Uh, Because I know many of students as well, right? These days, many of you are more interested in doing surgery.
Mm.
So this is a fascinating area where in endodontics you can do surgery to save a tooth. And when
Yes.
we are doing surgeries for implants, it always makes sense that we do a surgery to save the tooth. But only thing is that there is less awareness of it, or people don't take that much effort in private practice to save tooth. But as postgraduate student, you should learn something which is apart from the money making process. Because what I usually see when students get entry into post graduation, they always think about, okay, this particular branch will help me in establishing my consultation. This will start fetching me money.
Mm.
But are you Three Idiots fan by any chance?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Baba Ranchod Das ने क्या कहा था? Strive for excellence and not for
Excellent.
success.
Success. That's
Strive
the
for
marketing
excellence, success
term.
will follow you. So just go for the topic which you like. If you feel that you like surgery and you are in endodontics, you always explore different episectomy or the minimal invasive approaches for that. That is something which you can do at the college level.
Mm.
And once you are confident enough, then only you can start executing that in your private practice. And I think before this episode, you should give one disclaimer that this are just my opinions.
I read that, sir. And yes, sir. If a student is taking admission, then what things they should consider in the college before taking in? Because the department is in the college, so what facilities or the things they should look for if they are taking admission in that particular college for the end conservatory?
I don't know. I think this question is very subjective. The answer will differ from person to person.
Mm.
Probably my beliefs may not get aligned to your approach, but I'll just say what I feel about it. Uh, I feel that when, as a student, you are taking admission, the first thing that you should keep in mind is who is going to teach you, under whose guidance you're going to spend your next 3 years. Because that is the main factor which will affect your journey of post graduation. And so always go for the experienced teacher, the university which or the college which has experienced teachers and your head of department who can give you a chance to flourish for a period of next few years. Second, the college which provides a good materials. As a student, you definitely would not like to spend much amount on your instruments and materials. So that is very important. If you want to do more number of patients and learn many different treatments, you would look for a college that will spend for you. You don't have to spend extra money apart from the fees that you are paying.
Mm.
And third and most important is the college should have good genuine footfall, good OPD. Because if you're not getting good patient exposure, then it doesn't make any sense to do your post graduation in clinical branch.
Absolutely, sir. That
So
you
I think
cannot
these are the
always.
three things that students should consider.
Mm. And sir, if a person he or she is coming out of doing MDS in end and cons, then what problems he or she is going to face initially, right after completing her MDS?
Certainly, I think one thing that every postgraduate student should keep in mind that this is not the end of the journey. Your real struggle will start when you complete your post graduation. Okay. Uh, Consultation is certainly very much demanding task. You need to approach people that please, if you have any difficulty, you can call me. You go to different clinics, give your cards. Uh, and I've seen that many of us are usually very shy to ask for the work. But certainly, the main struggle will start with consultation because people won't pay you that high. I till date I know that the ticket size is very small for an endodontist, which people usually pay you for a root canals. So if we want to elevate our field, first every fresher should charge respectful amount. And second thing, when we're talking about struggle, I always advise my juniors that don't only go for consultation. Start and think in direction of establishing your own practice. Because if you're not establishing a private practice, it is very difficult to earn the amount that you always desire to earn. Uh, if you want to maintain your lifestyle, you want to give your family good life, certainly down the road you have to establish your own practice, and sooner the better, right? But usually the postgraduate students who are just recently passed out, they say that no, we don't have enough funds. We don't know how to start our own private practice. We have spent 3 years with Hando. We don't know how to do extraction and how to do dentures. And so there will be these struggles which will come along the way. But I think in initial time, you can take some experience for a few months or maybe a year. But after that, you should focus on your own private practice.
That's the question I'm coming to, right? That if a MDS and wants to open a clinic right after completing MDS, so what things or the treatments he or she need to learn during her post graduation or immediately after coming out of PG to
I
open up
think
a clinic?
yes. So if a postgraduate student has got good patient exposure during the post-graduation time, if the patient exposure was good, you had a good number of root canals, filling, crowns, smile designing cases, then I think the only part which usually students are not focused on is a surgical part. And that's why I focus on surgical endodontics as well during the post-graduation time. So first that people should look for is having good surgical hand. And second, I've seen the freshers are not confident about the prosthetic part because prostho is very vast subject, starting from removal to fixed prosthodontics. So everyone should brush up few basic topics, whether it is crown or bridge or even advanced level like implantology. So one should not jump for these treatments without having the basic education and knowledge about it. So that's where the continuing dental education courses come into play, where you go to your seniors, people who are already experienced, just go under their wings, learn something, and then start implementing that into your private practice.
And sir, regarding the advancements that are coming in the endo, what are the fields of endodontics and consultative dentistry, and what new things can come? Like just you on a whole area of guided endodontics. So what new things can come or might come or will come in the future?
Okay. When I start talking about this topic, someone will say this guy is lunatic. Because I'm too much optimistic about the recent advances and latest trends in dentistry. So, what I feel is that down the road now, the virtual reality or the augmented reality should come into play. And I always feel that even at the undergraduation level, do you remember your preclinicals, second year preclinics, where you're working on the phantom heads and you can hardly see inside the tooth, and we ask you to follow those primary grooves and
Yes,
fissures?
yes. Make
The
a mock
same thing
share.
happens with, right? And then your internship days when we ask you to do root canal treatments and you can hardly see the floor of pulp chamber, and we tell you that okay, you missed a canal, but sometimes you can't treat what you can't see. You have to see first to treat that thing, right? So I always feel that magnification is certainly going to play a very major role, and magnification is into practice for last 35 years. Since 1981 magnification has been introduced, and till date in India or many other countries the adaptation of this technology is very less. So if you are doing your post-graduation endodontics, you have to learn how to work with microscope. In few of the foreign countries, if you are not doing microendodontics, you are not endodontist. Okay, so that is a baseline requirement. And still, I am talking about that for the recent advances or the latest trend. So magnification has to be incorporated and learned well, because that hand-eye coordination will take some time. You just can't say that I'll open up my clinic and I'll learn on my patients at the clinic. You have to start it from the graduation or post-graduation level at the university itself.
Yeah.
Second, virtual reality. I don't know if you are following Jay Morita and good companies. Now they started developing virtual reality for the pre-clinics, where you can enlarge the tooth size, and then it's a simulated version, and then you can
Hmm.
treat them for your fillings, root canals. So that's how you learn how to do precise treatments. And second thing that you can say in the background, that is guided endodontics.
Yeah.
That is incorporation of the latest trends where you can localize a particular area
Hmm.
for the surgery. So when we are going for episectomy, or we are going for management of difficult calcified cases,
Hmm.
this technology will certainly be helpful.
Absolutely. And sir, about guided odontology, how it will help a lot to localize the area and better treatment. But how much time does it take to adopt that whole technology in the general clinical practice? Mostly the endodontist will be preferring this technology, but how much time will it take to open up in a whole clinical scenario?
When you're talking about this latest technology, implantologists usually are using this technology into their practices. And I always say that using technology is not difficult for this generation,
Hmm.
right? What I have seen is that when there are senior practitioners who are aged more than 50 years, they find it difficult to work with laptops or
Yeah.
get adjusted with the new digitalization into the practice. But the new generation can easily adopt any of the technology. If you can use your mobile phone, you can use any of this technology because they are not difficult. It
Hmm.
just requires the basic understanding of the science and the basic understanding of your softwares, how they work and how you can work around. It's quite easy to use and implement. But only barrier to this technology is the cost. And now everyone is having intraoral scanner. Now people have started investing in intraoral scanner.
Hmm.
Right? Before 5 years, it was difficult for people to imagine that, oh, intraoral scanner, that's too costly. But now, due to competition, the prices are going down and people are adopting new technology. So, in the same way, when the competition will increase, it will be good for consumers, which are dentists, and will be able to use it whenever the prices go down. It will be quite easy to use technology into your practice.
Yeah, it will be available for more group of people if the prices
Certainly,
are low. Yeah.
because that penetration of technology is very important. Whenever
Hmm.
anything is new in the market, is it is very costly. But we need good competition, and then probably the penetration will be good.
And so, what is the scenario right now for the in the
For
clinical practice?
endo or for dentist?
Uh, for both.
Okay, I think the scenario, it's not bad. Everyone should be
Hmm.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Uh, I always say and motivate students that don't be pessimist. You have to be optimistic about what you're doing. If you see, when first of all, when you decide to pursue a post graduation in any of the field,
Hmm.
one thing that you have to decide that every morning you will wake up as a dentist, whether it is prosthodontist or endodontist, and you
Hmm.
have to live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Probably you are going to spend more time with your profession than what time you're spending at your home.
Hmm.
So you need to have that passion. And second scenario is really good. I don't see any of even our students who are just recently pass out and opening up the clinics. Everyone is doing good because the urban areas are also expanding, and still there is need in rural areas. So people who are opting for the government jobs or well they are doing in private sector, everyone is doing good. We just need to stop comparing ourselves with the MD or like
Yeah.
we should have realistic targets in mind when you start your career in any field. For initial couple of years you have to struggle, and then only you will get established. But it's not bad. Anyone can easily survive. You just have to be passionate about what you're doing.
So, sir, At the last of our session, would you like to add something for the endodontics kind of community, those who are currently doing the post-graduation in endo, or those who are opting to take admission in endo? Anything
I
extra
think
you like to add?
only thing for the students who are going to pursue endodontics or who are already pursuing endodontics, I would like to say is that give your 100% during your post graduation. The only regret which we have till date is that probably we could have done much better during our post graduation days if we had so much access to the technology,
Hmm.
right? So now when
Yeah.
technology is available at your doorstep, you should utilize it and try each and every type of treatment modality in your post graduation. When you step out from the university, you should feel that you have tried each and every treatment which you have read in the textbook or journals.
Hmm.
Then and then you should be confident about doing your private practice with the same thing.
Hmm.
And keep that fire burning to learn more and more.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And sir, about the magnification, like only the endodontists are more opting for the magnification. Do you think it would be more better if the BDS people, those who are running clinic, also opt for the magnification from their UG learning part also? Like third year and final year students are not using loops and everything. PGs are only using them.
I know many of my friends who are studying at states or some other country, and during the second year preclinic, they start using magnification.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you are getting accustomed to magnification during your undergraduation in second year or final year, that would really be helpful to you in your life.
Hmm.
Second, what we always see when students are appearing for NBT or they are going for Australian entrance exam,
Hmm.
then magnification is not an option. It is mandatory. You have to use magnification to prepare your fillings and do root canals. So then during internship, they start learning about magnification. So sooner the better. If this technologies can be provided to students or students can be motivated to use them during undergraduation, it will really change the scenario.
Yes, and magnifications are also helps in the posture. And yes, one more thing, like I forgot to ask that how to maintain in posture and back related, neck related problems, which is more prone to the endodontitis.
Yes. Uh, so ergonomics is something that again we start learning from our undergraduation time.
Hmm.
Ergonomics is the science where we try to learn that what is the right posture for your profession. So first and most important thing for endodontist is to learn how to work with indirect vision. Okay, because again during magnification, if you're using your loops or you're using microscope, we have to
Hmm.
work in indirect vision.
Yeah.
So you have to enhance that skill, that how you learn doing indirect treatments and don't bend too much during treatments. And second
Hmm.
is doing some basic exercises uh, that should become part of your routine life, whether it is in between the patients or at the starting of the day. But these exercises will make sure that your back, posture, and neck are at ease. Because if we say we are working for 8 hours a day, and in India we always work for 6 days a week,
Yes.
probably the shelf life of your career will get reduced if you're working at this speed with
Hmm.
improper posture. So few yoga or basic exercises like stretching, they will always help.
And thank you so much, sir, for your taking the time and giving us such a valuable information. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing your knowledge with us on the Ignorancia platform.
My pleasure, Rohan, and wishing you all the best for your ventures and adventures ahead.
Thank you so
And
much,
hope to
sir.
see you soon.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.